Hi, my friend. It's Pat Sloan here for our Spooky Monday. We've got lots of fun Halloween things going on for this Monday. So let's talk about the Spooky Sampler first. So this week, you have quite a bit to sew, but that's okay because the last week, which is next week before you assemble it all, is very little to sew. So that's basically, you're going to work these 2 weeks together. So first, let's look at the flag. So first, here's the Spooky Sampler. So for those of you who have just been joining in or just focusing on this, this is a sampler by Melissa Mortensen, and it is so darling. There were kits, which you've all bought, so the kits are gone, but her fabric is still available. Links are below, and click subscribe while you're there. Mwah! Then we can be friends. Okay, this is what we're making. And we've been going in sections. So this week we're going to do first the big pumpkins. Whoop. So you've got 2 big pumpkins. And then now you can sew the whole bottom row of pumpkins. And I know a few of you are actually making these as a table runner, which will be so darling. So you can take these and then do a little border on them. Super, super cute. That is along the bottom of the sampler. And then all interspersed are the flags. So here we've got the flags. There's more down in this section. So once you get all these flags done, then you can start assembling almost everything. And then next week you'll finish up with the ghosts, which are just a few little guys. But I think a lot of you will probably run this, see how far you get this week and then go into next week. So here are the flags. They are just so darling. I think a whole quilt of these would be super cute, or you could just make them like this and hang them on a banner. I've just got them on a grosgrain ribbon there. You could sew them right onto it, or I just used Wonder Clips and clip them up. But wouldn't this be cute to put for a party? You can make these little guys like a birthday banner that you used all the time with cute birthday fabric, or the Halloween banner like this. So I thought I'd show you up close the fabrics. So I pretty much, this is all Melissa's fabric, and I am using her photo to do pretty much the same thing. So here are the little figures. So I have to show you all of them. Look, the little pumpkin girl, and then here's her son, the mummy, and there's Dracula, and then I have the two witches here. We've got the googly eyes, the damask, some purple with the spiders, and then the purple pumpkins. And then I think there's one other. I've got the orange pumpkins. There's orange pumpkins done for some of them, and the black bats. There we go. So that's how all of these ended up. Very, very adorable. I think that the banner is super cute. You could also just make it into a quilt, like a holiday. Like, you could do them with Christmas fabrics. Wouldn't that be cute? But Christmas, just go through your collection of Christmas fabrics and put them together. So I will sew all of those up. I will sew all the units this week of the flags and start put the pumpkins down here, get that long row ready so I can get moved along, not sure how far I'll get with those because that part will probably roll into next week for me as well. I'm going to be on the back side here of my koala table. This is where I'm standing at, the koala table, because my design wall has next book things on it, and we'll probably have that often for the next 2 months. So you'll most likely see me here on the back side. All right, Bats and Booze is our next, and it is the last part of Bats and Booze. So I put together all 3 weeks. So the center star, the 4 pumpkins, and the 4 bats. This is amazing. I totally love it. Now, it has a simple finish, which is a border. So I got out a few fabrics, and I'm going to hold them up and see what we think of it for mine, because I'm not sure. I'm not sure which way to go. So there is the gray that I used in this part of the bat, the body part of the bat, which is not my favorite option. I also think I may put a little inner border, but we'll get there in a minute. So I had bought another orange at the time that I got my fabrics, and so there's this orange as an option, which isn't bad. It's a lighter orange. I kind of like it, So that's a possibility. Then I also bought at the same time for this, because I did not use the kit. I just bought some random, Halloweenish type fabrics. But I've got 2 of these plaids, which just make my heart go, ooh, they're so cute. So there is the orange plaid, which I think looks pretty darn good. Now the Fat Quarter Shop used a very light fabric for their border. So let's look at a couple light fabric options. I got the this gingham, I guess it's a gingham, in the black and white. So there's a black and white gingham up there, which also looks pretty good. I kind of like that. And now I went into my big basket of Halloween fabric, and I thought, well, let me see what I've got in there, because maybe there's something. Now I did find these, and I probably could squeeze enough out of it, but the thing is, they just don't have the same feel as my other fabric. What do you think? They're cute pumpkins, but not the same vibe. So that's a no. Then I had this scenery, which is, kind of cute. It's also, I think, maybe not the right vibe, but I'm going to try, see what it looks like. See, there you go. It's actually kind of fun, not too bad. It's got a little bit of purple in it with the witches and parts of the parts of the house, rather. All right, so then I found the spider web. I don't know if you remember seeing that when I showed you my basket, but the spider web is pretty darn neat. So if I did that, I would want to do something like this orange as like an inner border, and then the binding. So if I did something like this, there you go. So so you can see the orange. I'm gonna try to hold it down there. So there's the orange and the white for the outer border, which is kind of neat. I kind of like that. But I do sort of like this orange here by itself. And then I have this black dot that's in the corner. I have that for binding. So tell me what you think in the comments. You can leave the comment here at YouTube, or over, if you're watching this, on my article at my website. If you're watching it at the article, then leave it in the comments there at the article. Tell me whether you like, because I'm kind of going between these two. I like the white. I like the white gingham, but I don't know. I'm feeling the love for the orange. Now I did one more option, because I started thinking, I have got that UFO. See, it's always good to know what UFOs you have, what unfinished projects you have, unfinished objects, UFO. It's, I have this whole bin of half square triangles that is for a zigzag Halloween quilt. The background is a white textured fabric called grunge, that has sort of a mottled look to it. And here is part that I had done for a table runner, and when I did a table runner size, I thought, oh, that would be a super cool quilt. And I actually have an entire box of all this fabric, like tons of fabric, already half square triangles, tons. So I thought, well, what if I did a half square triangle on the side? So I'm going to take this and hold it up here. Now I could just do, well, let's just do the 2 rows. That would make it quite a bit bigger. But there's 2 rows of half square triangles with a zigzag around it, which is very neat. The backgrounds are obviously not the same fabric that I used in the background here, the little dot. And I certainly am not going to make any if I do this, because I have all of these. But that is kind of interesting. It makes it a little bit bigger. I kind of like it as the double, but I could just do a single. Let's see if I can mock that up somewhat. Let's see if I can lay it there. So there would be a single around it, which would have a little less impact, I think. But it's still nice. It frames it nice, and it makes it just a little bit, not that much bigger. So those are what I'm thinking about. This option is pretty cool to me, because I have these pieces and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I have these and I haven't done anything with them. That's the way it goes sometimes. They just start accumulating. I really want to know how many unfinished How many in progress? That's what I want. Not tops. I want to know how many in progress pieces do I have going on. I think I've got at least a dozen. That would be like 12. But I can't take time right now to look. No, because that's just a procrastination for doing other things. It really is. It really is. So I have my Liberty top, the Liberty top. Yes. So you saw that on my video. I gotta hold it up again because I picked the backing. So I've got the top. Here it is with the checkerboard. And then I decided to use my Morrison Park backing on it. So this will be going to the spa in the next day or so. So I wanted to show it to you before it goes. And the other thing that I did was a few crumb blocks because I decided that as I was cutting these things up and I had these small pieces that weren't strips, I would just get them sewn because like down here in my little rolling cart, look at that, see there, I have got this much, which isn't really that much, of crumbs. And I thought, well, let me try to get those made into blocks because that is more efficient than having those just in that basket. So I've got that one block that ended up looking like a little house with the kitty in it. So I have that one to size. I'm making them around 9 to 10. The size of the block is between 9 and 10 inches squarish. So they might be 9.5 by 10 or 9 by 10 or 9 by 9 or 10 by 10. There's a whole group of them. And this bin, I want to show you. This is the crumb block bin. So I have all of these so far made this year. And then these are the string blocks, the red ones, these are the blue ones. And then these go back into this crumb. Now these go in with the other crumb blocks. And I've got another one started right here, which is from the project I'm currently working on. Yes. Okay. Craziness. That's it for today. You're going to go make some spooky sampler flags and get those pumpkins done and then get this assembled and get your border on. Yeah, it's an easy week, don't you think? I love you. Mwah. See you online.